الحمد لله ما حد بياخذ منك رزقك. هدي وارتاح ثابر واطمح من حقك. بس بلاش العين، لا 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 ما تسوى الدنيا بضيق خلقك. الحمد لله ما حد بياخذ منك رزقك. هدي وارتاح ثابر واطمح من حقك. بس بلاش.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to ITV's Community Showcase. First one for the year 2020. Alhamdulillah. What a better way to start with a person who has been involved in humanitarian work with an organization that has been involved in humanitarian work for over 30 years plus. Not a stranger to the screens for ITV for the year 2019 as well. And that is none other than Hafiz Imran Chunara, Director of Africa Muslims Agency. We say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to you, Hafiz Imran. Once again, Jazakallah for joining us this evening on our ITV Community Showcase platform, and we hope you had a well and rested break for the year 2019.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Of course, Zahir, and of course, always a pleasure being here on ITV. And yeah, absolutely excited about 2020. 2019 was incredibly busy. Alhamdulillah, it's always great to be busy. And yeah, very excited to be here today as well on the first community showcase for 2020.
Alhamdulillah. Generally, at the end of the year 2019, parents, students always looking forward to that report card. Oh, how did my child do for the year 2019? When it comes to humanitarian organizations, we know you guys have a report card that you now look and assess and digress and go intersect it at different intervals throughout the entire year. What was 2019 for Africa Muslims Agency?
Well, I tell you, subhanAllah, I mean, every single year when we look back, you just think the only reason that we exist, and anybody for that matter exists and can do the work that happens on the field when you look back, because in the moment you don't realize it. You just respond to a need and you do it as a team of people. But when I look back, always I think, subhanAllah, there's no way we could have planned it. The way Allah plans is incredible. And when I look back, I think about the achievements, so to speak, and sometimes it feels weird saying achievements, because achievements in the humanitarian world means you helped more people, you did more things, but also means there was a bigger need. Like there was more crises, there was more issues, people were struggling more, and you know, in more difficulties. There were more orphans, there were more difficult situations, and that's why you needed to help more. So it's an achievement in some way, but it's also, you know, I wish there was not anybody in the world that needed help.
I've heard, and we've also seen Africa Muslim Agency going mad towards the end of year 2019, not in the literal aspect of it, contrary to popular belief when we speak to Hafiz Imran Chunara. But when we look at the MAD campaign, just unpack that for our viewers back home.
You know, I think when you really think about the whole MAD campaign, and you're right, towards the end of 2019, we launched, well, after Ramadan, actually, around that time, we launched this concept of #MAD. You know, we live in a world of social media. We live in a world of things going viral. We live in a world of things just, you know, people forwarding things and sharing and liking and this kind. And it's the world we live in right now. It's not a bad or good thing. It's just what it is. And the #MAD, which stands for making a difference. And we wanted people to get behind this concept of doesn't matter who you are, where you are, make a difference in what you do. Make a difference wherever you are. So everything we focused on after that was just make a difference. Because if every human being decides, okay, I'm going mad, I'm going to make a difference, that's what I'm going to do, then it's whatever to them means making a difference positively. Now, yeah, we did start it with, you know, incredibly, alhamdulillah, around the country we ran some exhibitions. And in Cape Town, it was incredible. We had an art gallery that we used over a weekend, where we actually set up, and this is where we launched this concept of a #MAD. We actually set up a life-sized refugee tent inside the art gallery. And then we set up a village in Africa, how they go to school inside the art gallery. And then we built a water well inside the art gallery. You know, it's incredible. We built a replica of Sabra and Shatila, the Palestinian refugee camp, inside the art gallery. It's incredible. We had a masjid of Africa, straw masjid, inside the art gallery. We could perform salah when people were there for the exhibition. And it's incredible. And you know, when the refugees' shoes and clothing and had washed up on the shores, which we saw in the media, you know, over a year ago, we had art of that, pictures of that, of the actual authentic sandals and stuff of kids with their blood still on it, and just all of that exhibited. So it was again such a massive eye-opener to people, because it took people into the situation with the 3D glasses, with virtual reality. that they could actually visually be there. And the refugee tent was set up exactly like it is in Lebanon. And I tell you, people were in this art gallery in tears. And it just so much impacted people. Then part of the MAD campaign, and that happened in Cape Town, Durban, Johannesburg, and then we did something, I think, in Newcastle somewhere, and then we did something in the souk in Durban, similarly with the hashtag MAD. Also, what we did at that time with this MAD concept was, let's take people into the field. So we actually did live crossovers into Africa, into a hut, talking to families where people could be in the art gallery or be in the Durban event or Joburg event and actually see live right now as we're sitting here, what are those what's that family going through right now? Or in the refugee tent. Exactly, as I'm sitting here right now, there's another human being in another part of the world. It's like if I get on Skype with somebody, they live, okay? So if I'm on Skype with someone in the refugee tent, this is right now. That's what that other human being, thousands of miles away, is talking to me about their struggles. So the MAD campaign just raised such a massive awareness, and we're continuing with that right through 2020 because, again, it's making a difference.
I was just going to say, seeing is believing. And generally, in any population you go to, everybody wants to see, to believe something. And you've brought that aspect of seeing is believing to the individual cities throughout South Africa. So you've unpacked MAD for us for 2019. What has the response been so far for after the month of Ramadan and the inception of MAD?
Wow, I tell you, the response, again, it always fascinates me because I've got to remind myself that, and then this morning again, I just said, Ya Allah, guide us with wisdom and humility. Because it's not us. It can never be us. We're just tools in the process. Yes, as AMA, we have an incredible team around us. We have staff, we have volunteers, we have all of this around the country, which obviously they add incredible value, but it's still not us. It's the humility of it is that Allah plans it. Like, in Ramadan, when we brought in a representative from Lebanon, from the refugee camps there, to come and talk to people here in South Africa about what actually happens. And then on ITV, we had a pledge line, and we had one little snippet that went through on ITV, and it went absolutely viral. There was one person here in Johannesburg that just launched it on their platform, and it went viral. And that was insane because within literally, she set a target to raise 100,000 Rand in 4 days, and over I think a couple of weeks, it was 1.7 million Rand or something. That was just one thing. And that cost nothing just because it went viral. And then we actually took women to Lebanon, to the camps, to meet with fellow women and children in their tents to go and see the situation and feel it. So the response was beyond what I could have ever planned and what I could have ever imagined. But we're internally grateful to Almighty Allah because ultimately He knows what is the requirement on the ground, what is the need, and He knows where the money is and where the ability is to help. And Allah just connects the two, and we are just all tools in the process.
Alhamdulillah. Talking about the need on the ground, especially within Africa and Lebanon, you made mention of it. We'll go for a brief break, inshallah. When we come back, we'll just touch the top of Lebanon and what's the need there and in Africa, inshallah. Absolutely. We'll be back shortly after this.
لا 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 ما تسوى الدنيا تضيق خلقك الحمد لله